Jai Samnarayan, and welcome to Our Satsang Journey, the BAPS North American Yuvati Mandal podcast. Join us as we dive deep into real, relevant, and meaningful conversations on ways that we can stay inspired in our lives. We'll also explore the timeless teachings of Bhagwan Samnarayan and our Guru Parampara, as well as hear inspirational stories from those that also travel this path alongside us. Today's topic is on Seva. Seva isn't just about doing an act of good deed. Seva is actually about sacrificing yourself with a pure heart and doing something without expecting anything in return. Seva is actually a vital part of our spiritual practice. And whether you're in the BAPS organization or in any other organization, Seva has a vital part in connecting us to something much greater than ourselves. Although, besides the profound impact that it has on those that we serve, Seva is a powerful tool for self-development and spiritual growth. It helps us cultivate compassion, humility, and also connects us to our community as well. His Holiness Man Sai Maharaj has said that Pramukh Sai Maharaj's entire life was dedicated to the selfless service of others. That being said, Pramukh Sai Maharaj was the epitome of what it means to be a true sevak. Everything he did was for the well-being of others. In addition to that, Seva really in our lives can sometimes be very difficult to do, especially if we have work, school, and a whole bunch of other responsibilities. So really, how often can we engage in meaningful Seva in our lives? With that being said, we have two wonderful guests today who are going to teach us a lot about Seva and their personal experiences and teach us how we can stay dedicated and motivated to doing Seva. Our first guest is Toralben. She's currently pursuing a graduate degree in health systems management. On top of that, she's also working full-time as an administrative project assistant at Rush University and a department coordinator at Elmhurst Hospital. On top of all of this, she's also a Yuvati coordinator at the local BAPS mandir in Chicago, and she also serves as a regional coordinator as well. Our second guest is Kaveriben. She actually took off 2 years from her studies to dedicate herself fully to doing site seva during the building of Akshardham in Robbinsville, New Jersey. Right now, she's pursuing a degree in computer science and is also working full-time as a program advisor at Retire Med. She's also engaging in the local mandir at Cincinnati, doing various things such as helping with the Kishori Mandal and doing AV Seva. On top of this, she is also a Yuvati RC lead. So thank you both today for joining us.
Thank you for having us. We're excited to be here.
Awesome. But before we get started in more serious discussion, I do want to start off with something much more fun, such as a rapid fire round, okay? Not to scare you both, but I will be asking you some questions and I want you to just say the first thing that comes to mind. Are you both ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. First question. There is a right or wrong answer to this. Are you iPhone or Samsung?
iPhone, definitely. Can't do the green text.
Okay, wonderful. I'm so glad that we're all on the same page for this. Question number 2. Are you an early bird or a night owl?
Definitely night owl. I cannot stay awake. I mean, even if I try to wake up in the morning, it's so hard for me to get out of the bed.
I'm an early bird. I like to wake up early and start getting things done. Plus, I start yawning at 10 p.m.
Oh my gosh, same. Question number 3 we have is, do you prefer guac or salsa?
I like both, but definitely guac with my chips better because you can't really go wrong with guac. With salsa, sometimes it could be too bland or too spicy, and I'm not too good with spicy.
I like both, but spicy salsa really hits the spot.
Okay, sure. I agree with both of you guys. Let's transition our questions from a little bit more casual to something more related to our topic. So as we all know, Bhagwan Maharaj did a lot of seva and we learned about all of his prasangs. Now I want you to imagine that you're in his shoes. Would you prefer to water 300 mango trees or would you want to churn limestone?
Personally, for me, I would definitely do the turning the limestone because I did site seva for almost 2 years. So when I look back at it, like I'm sure, like Babaji Maharaj's time, it was definitely harder than what we did at site seva because we had all the equipment to get the seva done. But just thinking about it, like you can remember those times, like okay, how hard it must have been for our gurus to get like the mandirs built, right? And whereas we had all the equipment to do it, but just comparing those memories just to be part of it, like, okay, I see how mandir is being built. So definitely I would say turning the limestone. And also I hate walking, so definitely no thanks to the watering the mango.
I agree with you when it comes to turning the limestone because after Psych Seva, I feel like if we got that experience, it would just bring back all of those Akshardham Psych Seva memories that we had. And plus, it would also help us realize what our gurus did in order to build the mandirs that they did.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you both. Even though turning limestone sounds very difficult, especially on the body, I feel like because we've all went to Site Seva, there's like a special connection with building, construction of mandirs. And so that's why we're kind of more drawn to that. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. And my last question for you guys is, really, we're in the kitchen a lot, right, at mandir, either helping with various aspects, helping with baz, cook and stuff. But are you more of someone who likes to cook, or are you on the other aspect and likes to clean and do the vasan seva?
For me personally, I don't mind either or, but because like at the age we are like Yuptis and now we have the vado, like Yupti cooking vado, especially when we go to the kitchen to even learn how to make like small things, but because it's when you make food at mandir, it's like you're doing it in a big quantity, and whereas compared to if you're doing it at home, it's like a smaller quantity, and then the baz, they look at you and they're like, "Kaswar tu nathi dane," and it's like, okay, you teach me, and it's just like getting to know baz as well, because you don't go out of your way to just get to know them, right? So that the seva like also brings you closer to a different generation that you don't normally converse with. So definitely cooking seva.
I love cooking, but Vasan Seva just brings back all those memories from when we were Kishoris and Balikas. Because when you're younger, you're not allowed to go into the kitchen to cook, obviously. So, but as Balikas, we were able to go to Vasan Seva, and same as Kishoris, and now as Yuftis as well when we have our Vados. So it just brings back all those memories of we would make sure we wouldn't leave Vasan Seva until everybody was sold.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I definitely agree with you there. Even as a balika or kishori, even now as a yuvti, there's no way that I can get out of Vasan Seva without some sort of splash or something. But yeah, thank you both for answering those questions. And our last two questions kind of got me into thinking about what it truly means to be doing seva, right? And if we're fully engaged in it, and all of the thoughts that we have when we're doing seva. So, Kaveriben, I kind of want to transition to you first and really talk about your experience in building of Akshardham. You were there for 2 full years. I just want to know, what is your definition of seva because of your experiences, and what motivated you to want to go there for that long?
I'll be honest. Well, first of all, like Seva, obviously, we didn't understand what exactly Seva meant. We do it because it was like something that we've always done. But for me personally, after Site Seva, like if you had asked this question like before, my answer would have been completely different. But after Site Seva, I would definitely say Seva, like it was Seva to me is like selflessly, like something that you do it selflessly with nothing to expect in it. And like you don't want like anything to like, oh, I'm doing this, I want something back, right? And especially what motivated me was, I still remember so vividly, we were sitting in a Yuvti Sabha, obviously, and the video of Mansi Maharaj had came in the Yuvti Sabha, ke, if you can pause your educations or work, and if you can come to Seva, why not like try to come and do it. And at the time, my fiance, now my husband, he was already doing full-time site seva. So I was like, you're doing it, I want to do it too. And I went home and I was like, Mom, I want to go to full-time site. Well, at the time, it was like I was going to go for 6 months only. But my mom was like, write a letter to Swami, because I was pursuing nursing at the time. And if I had quit in the middle of the semester, like I was done with the 1 semester, but if I had stopped, I would have to redo the whole thing.
Oh, wow.
And my mom was like, write a letter to Swami, see whatever Swami says, do it. So then I wrote a letter. I got the response in like 2 days, and Swami said to go for Seva. So I was like, okay, cool. And then he said to restart nursing. And so at the time, I didn't think much of it, but I still remember like when I told my mom, the reason behind why I asked was we have communicated with the Haribhaktas that did Seva at CFI. And when they share their prasang, even to this day, this happened in 1991. But when they come and like when they share their prasang, or even when they come to present in Yuvati Sabha or Kishori Sabha, like they have so much utsav when they talk about it. And it's about because what they did for their guru, right? The time they spent with Prabhu Sai Maharaj at the time. And they still talk about it with the excitement that they're doing it right now. And I remember like I was like, how it's like they're still talking about it. How can I not want to be part of this, something that's so monumental, right? So I remember and I asked, and my mom was like, yeah, like if Swami says go for it, Swami said to go for it. And I went. And I will like when we went there, like obviously like I was a nursing student going into a construction field, which I knew nothing. I didn't even know what drill was. So going into that, it was a complete different transition, right? And I remember there, it wasn't just only yuktis were there, only hilaks were there. It was always like, it was all different generation. It was there, like Kishori Mandal, like Kishoris were there, yuktis were there, Prematis were there. And there, people were truly there just with one intention. How can they be part of something so big and also do seva to please their guru? Like fulfill their guru's wish, right? And that's where it's like truly understood the essence of seva. We're not here to just build Akshardham, but we're here to do this seva to make Swami Raji. And that was the one intention, pure, like it was selflessly, because nobody had intention hua seva kari, so I'll get something in return. And there it was more of like we didn't just learn, it was like a community that came together. Like it was Kishori Mandal, Yuvati Mandal, Premati Mandal, and we all just learned so much with each other that also brought us closer to not just Maharaj and Swami, but as a satsang as well, that truly showed the impact of it. So definitely like it was something that I would cherish and like change my perspective in seva for sure.
And we've always heard Samti Seva Karvi, right? But I don't think we realized what that actually meant until we were at Akshardham Site Seva and we all worked together as a team.
And I feel like what we learned there, we took it home, and like you truly understand how to do Samti Seva, right? Because you're working with different ages, you clash, but at the same time, you learn how to do that Seva without even having to like think, oh, I'm Marathi Nano, we can do it. We can do Seva together.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely it was like Samti Seva was something that definitely was a big key as well.
Yeah, wow. I can definitely see that doing site seva made such a big impact on your life as well as you, Toralben. As you mentioned that you were constantly with other people and doing seva with Sump, right? And these memories going from your letter to Swami to doing that site seva and now already completing site seva, you're going to have all these memories for a lifetime. So just like CFI, you'll be able to cherish all of this moving forward. So thank you. Now I understand where you're at with your current seva understanding, but now I kind of want to reverse and see, where did you exactly start doing seva? Was it in Balika or in like Kishori Mandal? And do you remember what you first did as a seva?
Not exactly like I remember, but it was just more of like when you're a balika and you go to mandir because your parents are going to mandir and everybody's doing volunteering or doing seva. It would be small seva or big seva. They're doing something and you're like bored, you're doing your own thing, and you just want to help when you look at the other people doing it, right? You just want to help. So you like 6-7-year-old of like balika in me would be like annoying them. It's like, give me something to do, give me something to do. So then all they would just be like, go pick up the trash or go clean the go clean balika room or vacuum the balika room. So it was always like, it started off as a young age, but like if I did I understand the meaning of seva then? Absolutely not, because it was just something that I saw like volunteers doing it, so I wanted to do it. But it was never okay, I want to do it because like I know what seva is. But it was more so, okay, I see the adults doing it, let me, like, how can I be a part of something that everybody's doing?
The mahima behind seva wasn't there because we were balikas, but we just wanted to do it because everybody was doing it, and we thought it was fun to be a part of something that everybody's doing.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I feel like when you're a balika, seva can start with such simple beginnings, right? It's not even you knowing the mahima of it, but you just seeing other people do it, and you're just like, oh, I want to help. Like, why can't I do it? You know, like other people are doing it. So yeah, I definitely agree that it starts at such a young age. And because of that, it keeps moving forward. So now transitioning from early stages in your life, from Balika Mandal going into Kishori Mandal, was there any change that kind of allowed you to learn more of the significance behind Seva? And was it more of a gradual process or change, or did it kind of click for you?
It was definitely like when you think about Seva, like it was around, I would say, teenage years of my life when I was a Kishori, because that's when we truly like start helping into community Sevas as well, right? It wasn't just like, oh, clean the bathroom or clean this or clean that. It was more so, okay, how can we help like locally? How can we help? And that was when we start helping with walkathon, or it could be kids Diwali celebration, or it could be like sports day or anything in small little events that could be at mandir. Even if it's catering, it's like, okay, we'll come to help. Like even as she said, basan seva. If they don't let you do basan seva, you're like, okay, put the basins away as they're dry.
Yeah.
Like the smallest thing, and just being able to see the community come together and be able to be part of that community, and that truly shows how Baba and they always have done exemplified seva, right? It's not just a one thing, like you're dedicating yourself to one person, but rather it's like a whole community that comes together to do a seva, right? So definitely it was around my teenage time, but I would say when you asked about gradual, it wasn't like I woke up one day and I was like, oh, I want to do seva. That was definitely not the case. It was like gradual, definitely gradually. And like I said earlier, it's like if you'd asked me about seva 2 years ago, probably my answer would have been different than what it is today. Because when you learn, when I was at Site Seva, I learned so much, and I became who I am today, right? Because of what I learned there. And it's like smaller thing that you do, even if it's like you helping a ba take them to the bathroom. That's the smallest thing. Like you never expect that is a seva, right? But it's like Baba, if he was going somewhere, and if somebody stopped him, like an elderly stopped him, he would still listen to that person like with concern, just like that. It's like you, like when you listen to the prasangs and you just like, okay, even if you're helping the barika, like the ba move forward, like taking them to the bathroom, it's still like a small seva that you're doing, but you don't realize that at the time, right? So it's like obviously like small things that you do, it always adds up. So it was definitely a continuous journey for me. It's not something that I woke up one day and then it's like, oh, I'm excited to do seva.
Wow, that's a wonderful way of putting it. Seva is definitely very gradual, and I also agree with how you put it. It's more of a continuous journey, and it's also specific to the individual, right? Everyone's journey in satsang and even in our seva lives is very much different. So thank you so much for sharing that. That being said, you have now understood more about what seva truly means, but how do you stay motivated? Are there any prasangs of our Guru Parampara that you kind of use to stay more motivated in pursuing other seva opportunities?
There's definitely a prasang that's very close to my heart, and that prasang is when Prong Samaj came to Robbinsville in 2014. We all know he was 94 of an age at the time, right? And he traveled all the way from India to Robbinsville. And who would have thought, like, doing a big journey where doctors were saying, no, don't go, Swami. It's not, like, it's not good for your health. And I remember, like, even if I have a 2-hour long flight, I go home and I shower and I just relax. I don't want to do anything.
I need a vacation from a vacation. Once you get home.
Yeah, it's like, don't talk to me. I just want to relax, right? So at the time, like, Bapa landed at 1 o'clock at night. And when he came to campus, the first thing that he said to Naranjan Swami was, "Okay, I want to go outside and do darshan of my Hari Bhaktos." And who would have even thought of, "Okay, I want to go outside and do darshan at 1 o'clock." I thought all the Hari Bhaktas were eagerly waiting for his darshan, and I was one of those that was like, I wasn't there, but I was watching live because I went there 2 days later. But it's like, who would have thought of that, right? And when you think about that, like, even Bapa's on the day, like August 12th, the day before he went to them, and like he gave us darshan 4 times the day before he went to them, right? And when we think of it, like Brahma Maharaj, when Sashi Maharaj put him in as a Brahmok of Sanstha, Bapa promised him, made a promise to him And when he made that promise, he truly lived that promise till his very last breath. And we can see that, right? Okay, Baba never even at one single day he took a break. Okay, no, I'm tired. I don't want to do anything. And that's the reason why we are here and talking about Seva, because Baba showed us how to do it. And that's something that every time I have like I'm not motivated or I don't want to do anything, that's a one person. Okay, Baba never stopped. Even at the age of 94, he didn't stop. The day before he went to them, he didn't stop. So why is it challenging for me to stop? Like, why am I questioning it? And that's one thing that truly gets me going. It's like, okay, things are going to be hard. Nothing is easy ever. But how can I motivate myself to do my seva properly? And when you put Baba in front of everything that you're doing, any seva that you're doing, you automatically feel the pure love. Like, it's like, okay, I want to do this with pure and like love. And when you put that out there, like every act of seva that you do, it's a service, like it's selfless service. And that's something that Swami taught us. So definitely it was that one blessing that keeps me motivated every single time.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that, Prasang. Just hearing you say all those small details was starting to give me goosebumps, hearing and remembering all those memories of Pramukh Sai Maharaj. So just like you said, I definitely agree that when we hear prasangs and just recall things from our Guru's life, it makes it easier for us to stay motivated in our seva, looking at all the things that they had done. So thank you so much. Let's switch gears from you, Kaveriben, to Toralben now. And that being said, you have done a lot of things in your life. You balanced work, school, seva, so many responsibilities. How did you find time to balance all these things when life got challenging?
So balancing everything definitely hasn't been easy, but I learned how to prioritize. So on a weekly basis, I try to take a look at my schedule with work, school, mandir, seva. Are there any family events going on? Are my friends trying to hang out? And just trying to prioritize based on what I need to do and just create a weekly schedule based on that. And in the back of my head, I know that Sunday is for mandir. So I make sure to get all my school assignments done before Sunday or see if I can leave them for Sunday night. That way, when I'm at mandir, my full focus is on seva or my sabha, and I'm not trying to pull out my laptop and trying to do assignments here. But during my weekly commute and stuff, I also try to do my messaging and any phone calls that I need to do with karyakars to utilize that time and try to manage that time well. And you both also know that on weekday evenings, sometimes we have phone calls and meetings that we need to get on. So during those situations, my school assignments do get pushed to later at night. So that means a little bit of sleep gets sacrificed, but it's okay every now and then. And then on top of that, we also have goshti during the weekday or any events that we may need to attend that I want to attend. So when situations like that occur, I know that my sleep is going to get sacrificed a little bit. But if I look at the bigger picture of making Swami Raji, it's all worth it.
Yeah, that was a couple of really great ways that you kind of balanced your time. And me also having gone through medical school, and then the last 2 years of medical school is rotation, so you're constantly moving from place to place. And now I'm in residency. I definitely agree that really using those little moments in your daily life to do things during that time can free up a lot of different spaces for you. So thank you so much for sharing that. That being said, how do you actually try and stay motivated, even if you have some free time, to do seva and not do other things?
So one thing I do is I look at all the other Hari Bhakta mandir doing seva, especially the young moms, right? These moms, they have so many responsibilities. They have young kids at home. They have their careers. They're taking care of their family. And on top of that, not only do they show up in person on weekends to do seva, but then again, on weeknights, they might have phone calls and seva calls that they need to get on. So just getting the inspiration from them. They have so many responsibilities, yet they're able to say yes to seva. So what I have going on isn't as much as they do. So I can definitely make a little bit of time for my seva. And about 10 years ago, I remember a conversation that I had with a mom of 2 kids who had come to Lam. She told me that one thing that she's tried to do in her life is not say no to any seva that's given to her, even though she might be worried about time constraints or how she's going to handle everything, because she tries to think about how that seva was given to her by Swami. How the person that's giving her the seva isn't that person, but it's Swami speaking through that person. So whenever I'm given a seva, I try to think about how Swami has entrusted me with the seva and he believes that I can do it. So I can make sure I have time to do that seva.
Wow, you definitely hit a lot of good points there. Like a lot of moms in my local Seva as well, I've seen them handle and juggle a lot of different things. Coming to mandir regularly on time is something so hard to do, even as Yuvatis. But they are there on time every single week with their kids and doing a lot of things on top of that. So thank you for sharing. Now back to you, Kaveriben. Has there been any time where you faced challenges in staying motivated in your seva, especially when you didn't see the immediate results of what you were doing?
Definitely, like especially when I was given the seva of you, the regional coordinator lead seva, right? And I didn't know what I was doing at first because it was a complete new seva to me. And I remember like I would always feel so nervous because you would ask questions to a lot of people because you're just trying to help out like wherever you can, right? And I used to feel like, oh, I'm burdening them. Like, I don't know, I should not be doing this because I know I get annoyed when I get asked so many questions and like similar questions. So I was like, I don't want to annoy them. So, but at that point, like I took a step back and I was like, I'm doing this because it's my part of my seva. And it's because Swami trusted me with this seva, I should be able to do it without even questioning it. And obviously, like it wasn't something that immediately I understood the roles and responsibility of the seva. But gradually, obviously, like I understood the seva, and like when I change my perspective definitely helped me. Just like example, like when we think about like we just celebrated 50 years of North America last year, and be it like if you think about it, like BAPS started with 3 people doing sabha in Flushing, New York. Whereas like now we can see like we didn't have an immediate result right away, but we just celebrated 50 years last year, and Bapa had so much faith in Yogi Baba's vision that like it's okay, like just having that trust in Swami's words. Okay, I trust you, you're the reason, like I see you doing it. So having that trust, and like obviously it's not going to be happening overnight, but definitely like keeps you motivated. Okay, Bapa has trust in me, so I should be able to do it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's hard to do seva when you don't see the immediate results of it right away. But just like you said, Swami really pursued for the last 50 years, and look at how far we've come in North America. It's so incredible to see how many mandirs and mandals there are in the United States and in North America overall. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing. Now over back to you, Toralben. You've had a lot of instances in with challenges with seva, but a lot of us feel that sometimes seva can become overwhelming or burdensome, and it can stress us out. What do you do when you feel all of these emotions and feel overwhelmed?
When you have so much going on at school, work, seva, just you can get stressed, right? Getting overwhelmed. It happens to everybody. But one thing I do is I use my support system, right? So when I came back from Akshardham site seva, I was very overwhelmed with everything. I was trying to find a job. I was trying to figure out, is it time for me to go back to school to get my master's at this point? And after coming back, everybody's like, oh, you're back. Can you do the seva? Do you want to do the seva? Do you want to help with this? And we also had so many people that were still at Robbinsville doing long-term Akshardham site seva. So karyakar-wise, there was like, it was tight, right? So wherever anybody was needed, all of us were trying to help out and do seva locally. But during that time, my family would constantly ask me, are you okay? Do you need help with anything? My fellow karyakars too, like, hey, if you need to take a step back for a little bit, it's okay. So that helped a lot, having that support system around me. And I also remembered a conversation that I had right before I left Akshardham site seva. An auntie asked me, hey, how are you going to feel? What are you going to do when you go back home? And my response to her was like, I don't know. I feel like I'm going to be so upset. I'm going to miss the atmosphere. I'm going to miss all the people I'm around all the time. I'm going to miss the seva. I'm going to miss it all. And she was like, that's not the right answer. You need to take what you learned here and take it back to your local mandal. The same atmosphere that everybody here was able to create, you all can create that back at home. As long as you do seva with the same utsaha and bhav you did it here, you could do it at your local mandal and have everybody feel the happiness and sukh too, right? The Rajipo that we earned doing seva at our local mandals is the same Rajipo that we're going to earn when we're doing Akshardham site seva. So if we're doing it with the same mahima, if we're doing it with the same intention, if we're doing it for the same reason, making Swami Raji, at the end, it's all going to happen. And when I keep that in mind, it helps me not get stressed and stay motivated.
That's actually a very inspirational advice that you got. And when I came back from Robbinsville, I was also in the same boat as you. I was like, okay, now I'm going back home. I have less of a support system, and I'm just going to feel all depressed. But just like you said, you really have to change your perspective and realize that you have to bring all of that enthusiasm back, just like the enthusiasm that we feel after Shibir, right? That hype that we get. Even after doing all of these things, like Diwali Seva, KDC Seva, we feel that post whatever we're doing, that hype, because we're there for hours and hours and doing Seva with others. So I definitely do agree with you and that unique piece of advice. We talked a lot about challenges, but now let's shift gears a little bit. Similar topic, but sometimes Seva really pushes us beyond our comfort zones, right? If we don't know how to do a certain skill or we're forced to work with others who we don't know, it pushes us beyond those boundaries and we're faced in a new situation. Have either of you been in a situation that's outside of your comfort zone, and how did you react?
Yes, definitely that happened with me. I learned how to drive right before pandemic, and it was funny because you learn right before pandemic happened. We didn't go anywhere. And I was just at home, and then I started my nursing school, and then I went to Site Seva after in this transition. And when I went to Site Seva, like I said earlier, I knew nothing about it, right? And I recently learned how to drive, and it was just like, okay, what am I doing? Like, I was so confused. And when I got there, literally like a week or two into it, they had me certified for forklift, and I never knew what forklift was because I've never seen one. And maybe if I had seen it, I just didn't know that was forklift, like that's what it was called. Because a lot of the like machines that I saw at Site Seva, it was my first time even seeing it, right? And when I went there, when they had me like certified for it, and I was like, wait, like I don't think I can do this. But they like 5 minutes, the uncle was like, hop on the forklift, I'll teach you how to drive. And I was like, okay. So like just being my whole time that I was there, I was just moving butters around or like anything that was just there, like using required forklift. I was there, and I was able to also train other kishoris or yuvatis that were there to help us out, because there were times where we would need help. And it was just crazy to think about, like, I would have never in my wildest dream thought of driving a forklift. And let alone, I just learned how to drive like few years ago, right before pandemic. So it was definitely like way out of my comfort zone. Like, but let alone like Site Seva itself was way out of my comfort zone. And on top of that, using forklift would move butters around. But yeah, that was definitely like, what is going on?
Yeah, I can't imagine being in your situation. That is very intense, starting from, just learning how to drive and then being forced in a situation of driving a forklift that most of us have never done before. But I'm so glad to know that you have done it and that if we need it, you're here.
I got you.
All right, how about you, Toralben? Any certain instances where you went outside of your comfort zone?
Thinking back to it, when I became a kishori and I got my seva in networking, that was way out of my comfort zone. I don't know if you guys know this about me, but when I was younger as a balika, I didn't speak at all. I'd be the one balika sitting in the middle of the room. I could say no words in Sabha and everything would be fine. I wouldn't need to talk to anybody. I mean, my sister would do enough talking for her both. And I was able to get away with it. But then when I got to Kishori Mandal and I got asked to do networking seva, it wasn't just that, oh, you could send a message here and there. You would actually have to talk to people in person. So I was pushed to get out of my comfort zone and learn how to talk to people. And that not only helped me get out of my comfort zone of just having normal conversations with people, but it also helped me get more comfortable around people. And now if I look at it, because I was pushed out of my comfort zone there at that point, I'm such a better communicator, and it's helped me both at school and in my professional life and my career as well.
I know, like when we think about comfort zone, obviously, like it doesn't come like overnight, right? And I feel like any seva that we do in regards to mandir or even outside, it's always pushes us to be a better person, right? At the end, like you seek it, like whatever you learn at mandir, you apply this in real world, and it's like, oh, thank you, mandir, for teaching me this.
Yeah.
And it could be smallest little seva, but it's like you go back and it's like, thank you, Swami. I can do it because you taught me at mandir, or like somebody taught me how to do it. Even like something to do with Excel. Like if you're doing seva, you've used Excel, and it's like you have to use it. It's like, oh, whoa, I learned this at seva and I know how to use it.
Yes, mandir teaches us, and doing seva teaches us so many skill sets that we don't even realize until after that fact, right? Just like you said, Toralben, you learned public speaking, and it's because of those situations that you were put in. So I honestly also didn't know that you were more shy in the past, but I'm so glad that you come such a long way. As we wrap up today, I have one final question for the both of you. You've told me so many different prasangs and stories from not only your life, but also our Guru Parampara. And so kind of based on all of this and your personal journey through Seva, how has it impacted your personal life as well?
For me, my Seva journey has made me more of a patient person, more empathetic, more organized. It's also taught me how to stay calm in certain situations. And you can see that calmness is, I've not only imbibed in Seva now, but I also bring it into my personal life at home and also into my career as well. And that's really helped me. And not only has it helped me gain these qualities in my life, but also helped me strengthen my Jodan with Swami and help me in my satsang journey as well.
Wow, that's incredible. How about you, Kaveriben?
Similar to what Toralben said, like definitely has taught me patience. And like being said that like I'm an only child, so it's always like, oh, I want it. It's like either I want it this way or it's like no way, and that and it's a very bad quality to have, right? And Seva was that one thing that truly taught me that it's not just what you want; it's about what everybody wants. And that's the one thing that I learned, like how to let go of things, like not get frustrated if things doesn't go your way. At the end, it's just like, okay, it's okay, let it go. And that's the one thing. Like now when something comes up, I look at it as like JV Swami Nicha, like I don't need to worry about it. Swami will take care of it. So like when I think about it, like it's each act of Seva is like bringing me closer to Swami. When you talk about Seva, it's like Seva is a different journey for everybody. For me, it started at Site Seva. For somebody else, it might start at different point in life. So it's definitely like every step I learned something new.
Yeah, wow. Thank you both so much. Your personal touch and personal stories that you've shared have really inspired me on pursuing more in my own life, in my personal seva as well. So thank you so much for joining us. In our conversation today, we learned about a lot of different things, specifically on how we can overcome challenges in our daily lives in regards to seva. To recap, some of the things that we talked about are to use our time wisely, to draw inspiration from others, specifically our gurus as well, and to make sure that we reflect on the true meaning behind seva. Also, remember that seva is a personal journey, so it really does reflect on what you are comfortable with and how far you want to take it outside your comfort zone. Thank you so much to our viewers today, and please feel free to share any feedback or comments using the link in our description. Thank you, and Jai Samnarayan.